For the vast majority of human history, wolves weren't the loyal companions we know today. They were the stuff of nightmares, the true monsters under the bed. If you were a human living 30,000 years ago, the haunting sound of wolves howling at night didn't mean a walk in the park. It meant immediate, life-threatening danger. Back then, you were small, you were slow, and you were hopelessly surrounded by apex predators that could pick up your scent from miles away. You were a prey animal in a world of giants, and the wolf was the most efficient hunter of them all. Wolves hunted in highly coordinated packs, possessing massive jaws capable of crushing bone, terrifying physical endurance, and eyes that worked far better in the pitch-black darkness than yours ever could. They were the ultimate survival machines of the Ice Age, designed to track and kill. And yet somehow, out of all the incredible animals humans encountered, the mammoths, the lions, the bears, wolves became our closest companions. Not horses, not cows, not even our fellow primates, but the very predators that once hunted us. Today, there are more than 900 million dogs on Earth, and their lives are unrecognizable compared to their ancestors. They sleep in our beds, they guard our homes with fierce loyalty, they detect hidden bombs, they herd our sheep, they rescue people from the crushing weight of avalanches, and they even wear little birthday hats while sitting next to cakes. But this incredible transformation was never a planned project. No human tribe ever sat down 30,000 years ago and said, "We should really invent a fluffy animal that plays fetch and wags its tail." Dogs were created by a beautiful, chaotic accident of nature. The strangest part of the story is that wolves may have actually started domesticating themselves before humans even realized what was happening. To understand how this happened, you have to imagine the world during the peak of the Ice Age, around 20 to 40,000 years ago. During this time, humans lived as hunter-gatherers, moving in small bands of 20 to 50 people across enormous, unforgiving landscapes in a constant search for food. Life was brutal, most hunts failed, winter killed people constantly, and a simple broken leg could be a death sentence. And at the edge of every human camp, just outside the flickering reach of the firelight, wolves waited in the shadows. Now here's the important part. Humans are incredibly messy eaters, and even during times of starvation, hunter-gatherers left behind bones, scraps, and partially eaten carcasses. To a hungry wolf, a human camp wasn't a place of danger, but a moving pile of free calories. At first, wolves approached with extreme caution. The boldest ones crept closer, while the aggressive ones that bared their teeth likely got speared by defensive humans. The terrified ones stayed far away and got nothing, but somewhere in those wolf populations, a few individuals were different. They were less fearful, less aggressive, and much more curious about these strange, two-legged creatures. Modern genetics suggests some wolves may simply have been born with a genetic mutation that made them more comfortable around humans. Over generations, these friendly wolves survived better than their aggressive brothers because they didn't have to risk injury hunting dangerous prey themselves. They could simply follow humans and eat the leftovers near the camp. Over time, evolution filtered wolves based on personality. The friendlier wolves got more food, the calmer wolves stayed closer to the fire, and the hyper-aggressive ones eventually died out or stayed wild. Eventually, these wolves began changing physically, too. This might sound fake, but scientists have actually watched something similar happen in real time, proving that personality and appearance are linked. In 1959, a Soviet geneticist named Dmitry Belyaev started an experiment in Siberia using foxes. He wanted to understand domestication, so every generation he selected only the tamest, friendliest foxes for breeding, without any actual training involved. Within just a few decades, these foxes started behaving exactly like dogs. They wagged their tails, they whined for human attention, and they even licked the scientists' hands. But then something even stranger happened. Their bodies changed to match their new personalities. Their ears became floppy, their snouts shortened, and their fur developed patches of white. Their tails even began to curl. Scientists realized that when animals become less aggressive, their appearance often changes automatically as a side effect of lower adrenaline levels. This means the first proto-dogs may have started looking less intimidating long before humans intentionally bred them. Imagine standing in an Ice Age camp and seeing wolves nearby that looked slightly smaller, calmer, and less terrifying than the wild ones, not pets yet, but not fully wild either. This likely happened in many places at once. Humans and wolves were forming these silent relationships across huge parts of the ancient world. For thousands of years, this bond deepened without anyone realizing they were watching evolution unfold right beside their campfire. Humans quickly noticed the benefits. Wolves hear things long before we do, they smell predators from massive distances, and they can track prey far better than any human hunter. A wolf hanging around your camp was basically a living, breathing alarm system. If bears approached, the wolves reacted first. If strangers appeared, the wolves noticed. If prey animals were nearby, the wolves could help locate them. Once both species started helping each other survive, the relationship accelerated into a true partnership. This is why dogs are considered the first domesticated animal in human history, thousands of years before sheep, goats, or the invention of farming. When we finally did invent agriculture, dogs changed yet again just to stay by our side. They were surviving with us before the invention of writing, before cities, before metal tools, and even before the pyramids were a dream. Over thousands of generations, humans and dogs began changing each other emotionally and biologically. When you stare into your dog's eyes, both of you release oxytocin, the same hormone that bonds parents and children. Wolves don't naturally do this with humans, but dogs evolved specifically to connect with the human brain in a way no other animal can. Dogs even evolved specific facial muscles to make expressions that humans instinctively respond to. Those famous puppy dog eyes were an evolutionary advantage. Humans were more likely to feed and care for the dogs that looked emotionally expressive. Some anthropologists believe dogs improved human hunting success so much that humans with dogs survived the Ice Age while groups without them struggled or disappeared. Dogs may have quite literally helped our species conquer the planet. But domestication came with a heavy cost. Dogs lost much of what made wolves wild and powerful. Many modern breeds now suffer from severe health problems caused by centuries of selective breeding for cute or specific traits. Pugs struggle to breathe, dachshunds develop spinal issues, and some breeds can't even give birth without human intervention. Yet, despite these physical changes, the shadow of the wolf still remains deep inside every single dog. When they twitch in their sleep or circle before lying down, instincts from thousands of years ago are surfacing. Inside every tiny chihuahua and every fluffy husky is the spirit of an Ice Age predator that chose to sit by our fire. This is why dogs feel so different from any other animal. Cats might live near us and horses might work with us, but dogs truly joined us. They followed us into storms, through migrations, and into entirely new worlds. In Germany, archaeologists found a grave from 14,000 years ago containing a man, a woman, and a dog buried carefully beside them. The dog had been very sick as a puppy, yet it lived for months, meaning those Ice Age humans spent their precious resources nursing it. That isn't just about usefulness, that is friendship, attachment, and maybe even love. This partnership, born of scraps and fire, changed the course of history for both our species. Tonight, your best friend is probably going to fall asleep somewhere near you, unaware that your friendship actually began tens of thousands of years ago in the freezing dark of the Ice Age. But now, you know the truth. If you could travel back in time to the Ice Age, what is the one thing you would want to tell the first person who shared their campfire with a wolf? Let us know in the comments.